All right. This is telling me it's time for this meeting to start.
Get that out of the way.
All right. And we always start on time. So I am not the star of the show. I am your backup band. And I'm the guy that's going to just, oh, you watched Notre Dame stomp Navy this year, huh? All right, good for you. All right. I like that. As you all know, I am better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger, but I am also the husband of this smoking hot wife over here, Kay. I see, as you said, a lot of people are apparently not interested in showing their faces, which, let's see, what do I got
Hey,
here?
Shane.
Got to make sure that I'm muting everybody. Why is it not doing that?
Have to. What are you doing, hon?
Well, I'm trying to mute everybody, but it's not.
Okay, I can.
I can mute me.
Me? Okay. I'm muting. They're muted.
Except for me. I get to unmute myself.
Yeah.
All right. Unprecedented times, gang. No question about it. Kay and I have just been absolutely going, BS crazy, trying to reach out, help people as much as we possibly can right now. We have been sending out, we've been inundating the world with emails and tips and techniques and ideas, fun stuff, things to think about, things to just help you guys as much as we possibly can. And of course, one of the things that has certainly come out in all of this is that virtual meetings are, for the foreseeable future, these are going to be extremely important to all of us. Kay and I, we have done, I'm going to say I've probably been involved in 1,000 of these over the years. So, we've done a lot using a lot of different platforms. Recently, we've been using Zoom a lot for meetings, not necessarily webinars, but you can use Zoom for webinars. But the fact is, Zoom is very simple. It's got a lot of nifty little things that you can do with it. And Kay has kind of become the go-to expert here in our office. And so I'd suggested to her, you know what, on top of everything else that we do, we are just, anything we can do to help you guys, we are trying to do it. And so we suggested this. We got a lot of people who registered for this. Obviously not everybody's going to show up, but the important person is Kay. No, it's you guys. And we want to help you guys out. So here's the deal. This is going to be Kay's show. Once I hand it over to her, and honey, you might even want to change your name there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be monitoring the chat. And while Kay is going through this presentation and giving you a demo of Zoom and how to use it, how to get started with it if you're not already started with it. She's also got a couple of things to share with you. If you have used Zoom, she's going to share some things that you might not know about it. And other than that, we're here to do it. My smoking hot wife, Kay, used to be the number one, for those of you who don't know, the number one muffler salesperson in the world.
That's right. Muffler Mama here to serve.
I used to call her Muffler Mama. So that's what hooked me up, was that she was big time salesperson. She's still a big time salesperson. And with that, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to hand you off to my smoking hot wife, Kay. Kay, babe, take it over.
Okay. So I am, everyone says, I'm excited to do this. I am excited. I'm a little nervous. And I have to say, I'm not an advanced expert on Zoom. And my purpose today is to show you how to run a Zoom meeting when you get off of this, a simple way to start and share a Zoom meeting. I've been doing a little coffee with Kay every weekday for the last couple weeks, and some great things have come out of that. So I'm just inviting clients, and I put it on Facebook and everything, and we've really connected. It's been great. Some of the people on the Zoom calls have been running their own Zoom calls, and some really cool things have come out of that. So just to run your basic Zoom call, that's the information I'm going to give you today. Steve and I have also used it for social stuff. I've been watching movies with my friends, so you can play a movie on your screen and then screen share it for other people, and that's been really fun. We played trivia with our daughter, then that was really fun too. So, I was doing a little video before. We were using Zoom for some of our client meetings, but man, since this has come along, the coronavirus, the quarantine, we've been using it way more, and a lot of people have too. So it is such a good way to connect with clients. One of the gals, I don't know if she's going to be on here, Jenny, she's one of our superstars. She's kind of a shy and quiet person, but she really stepped up and did this. And she said, customers are saying, I've dealt with you for years and I never knew what you looked like. And it's interesting to see how much better or deeper that connection is when you have that eyeball contact. And of course, that means you gotta, sometimes you gotta brush your hair or something. But right now, people don't care. We're all quarantined. We're all, my gray hair is coming in. So this is a great way to connect with your customers. And you might, I'm sure you will, if you get into it now, you will get to continue to use it after this is all over and take advantage of all kinds of things. One gal on one of the calls, she was talking about how she can even talk to her engineers and show and explain, things that need, that you have to see to understand. So that is, hopefully I'll unfreeze in a second, but there is a lot of capability to do stuff that you can't do on a call. So like I said, I am not the total expert, but I can teach you how to do a basic meeting. So let's do that. And I'm going to, I'm going to stop my video and restart it here. So that's something, if you do freeze, stop your video and then just restart your video. And that usually takes care of the problem. I am going to share my screen now so that you can see what I'm looking at. So basically, what you need to do when you are going to do a meeting is that you need to get an account. So I actually already logged into my account. So you just, you get a free account, and I'll show you how to do that. Or actually, as Steve and I were talking about, we don't recommend a free account, and I'll tell you why in a second. But here is the page where you look at the different programs. So the free account is free. The one that we have is $14.99 a month. And there's some differences between the free and the $14.99 a month. One of them is that if you have the free program, you can have up to 100 participants, but you can only have a 40-minute limit on your meetings. You have unlimited one-to-one meetings. But there are some things you cannot do. You cannot have the chat feature. You cannot record it. And there are some other limitations on that. And the big thing, as I've talked to people who are using Zoom, is that when you have a free account, it seems like a lot more things go wrong. I mean, we're struggling with, bandwidth. Everybody's, there's such a huge influx of new users. Everyone's using the internet. And the people I know that have done free stuff, it doesn't always work. And that is not good. So the $14.99 plan is really what we recommend. And after I even decided to do this webinar, I realized there is a referral link. So if you sign up for Zoom and you use our referral link, we get some type of compensation, and I don't even know what that is. And once you sign up for Zoom, if you refer someone else to it, you can get a referral link too. So that's a little extra bonus. I really don't know much about the higher programs because that's advanced beyond what we're going to do. But we have the pro, and that's what we're going to talk about. So once you get into an account and you sign up for an account, you are going to log into your account, and you're going to say that you want to schedule a meeting. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to schedule meetings. You can have an instant meeting, and you can host a meeting is the main way to just have an instant meeting. We're going to keep it really simple and say schedule a meeting. Because the thing is, when you schedule a meeting, you can go into it anytime. You can go back into it. So let's just do that, and I'll show you the real quick way to do that. So we're going to call it, what are we going to call it? Okay, Super Zoom meeting. So it's going to look like that, except I can't type. And you can enter a description, which I usually don't. You're going to pick your time. Let's go with a very appropriate date of April Fool's Day. Kind of fits with everything right now. Then you pick your time, and you pick your duration, your time zone, and whether or not you want it to be a recurring meeting.
We have a quick question here too, honey.
Okay.
About this is that Adrian wants to know how many minutes are you allowed with the $14.99 package? I assume you're talking about how long the meeting can be, Adrian. Like she said, with a free program, it's only 40 minutes, while with a $14.99, there is no.
I think the meeting length is 24 hours.
24 hours, you're right, yeah.
So if you can find someone who wants to watch it for 24 hours.
Which, of course, Mary will have to cut down on her meetings in order to fit it into the 24 hours, but
yeah, so good question, and thanks, Steve, for feed me some good questions if you get them. So what I have been doing is scheduling a recurring meeting. So what that means is that you can use that same link for multiple meetings. So if you want to do that, I thought that you had to schedule every single day you wanted that meeting, but you can basically say no fixed time. So that's what I've been doing. If you think you might use that link again, you could just have a recurring meeting. So here is a couple things happen here. Do you want the meeting ID, to be generated automatically? I say sure, fine. Require a meeting password? Nope, not going to require a meeting password. Host video, of course you want that on. I usually have the participant videos on as well. Audio, I just put both because if someone has I have never had a meeting where they couldn't use the computer audio, but if that happened, they could dial in with phone. Okay, these, it's up to you. Enable to join before host. I don't really think that matters because I'm always on the meeting first. And actually today I came in 10 minutes early and there were a couple people. And so you kind of just see that the meeting's waiting to open. It's no big deal. Mute participants upon entry. You can do that or not. It's up to you because you can later mute them in your other controls. Only authenticated users can join. That means only someone who has a Zoom account, some type of security. Like I said, you can see what I have selected and record the meeting automatically for all the calls I'm doing with, just everyday calls with my, for Coffee with Kay, I don't record it. But this one we're recording so we can share it later. So then you just click save your meeting settings. Now that is, you've got a meeting set up now, and now you've got a couple ways to share that meeting. Now I am not going to cover using Outlook or Google Calendar or anything like that. What I just do is copy the link out of the screen and paste it into an email. And I did hear a story of someone just the other day, was trying to do a Zoom meeting and used Outlook. And it ended up that everybody was getting calendar invites. And every time someone said yes, no, maybe, they were getting, messages. And it was kind of a little bit of a cluster, as he put it. So I would say for now, just use the copy and paste. So you can either click copy the invitation, and you can click on that, and it's going to give you all the information, including the meeting ID, where they can go if they want to join it by phone, all that kind of stuff. What I do is I just copy this link right here, and I paste that in the email, and I tell people this is the time of the meeting, this is, where you need to go, and that's all they need. They don't need a password or anything. Okay? How are you? Are there any more questions, honey, that I need to address? Does it sound like it?
I had to unmute myself. No questions yet. I would still stress that the paid when Kay said we prefer the paid, the primary reason that we prefer the paid is that we have found and we've experienced Zoom calls where somebody else sets up the call and it's a free call, and nobody was able to log in. And what we have figured out is that, when it gets really, really busy out there, who is Zoom going to, what's going to be their preference?
Favor, yeah. Who are they going to give priority to?
Yeah, they're going, and they do say that they will slow down certain accounts and stuff like that. And so I guarantee you the free ones are going to be the ones that get slowed down or pushed out. Yeah, Mark, like you say, money talks. And so the last thing you want to do is set up an important meeting with somebody or an important presentation, and then your viewers can't get on. So it's only $15 a month, so I wouldn't lose sleep.
It really is. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this has been great. So I was going to say, webinars, you have to pay a premium to do that. I think it's involved in the other account. So we haven't done anything like that. The free account cannot do recording, but you can set up here. You can decide which meetings that you want to record. I would go, though, the only thing that you need to worry about now is the settings for the basic settings. It'll say in meeting basic settings. There are only a couple that you need to worry about. Let's see, I'll go up to the top. So we already had telephone and computer audio. Some of these things we answered. So I'm just going to go down here. There's an option that if you want to allow people. Yes?
I would suggest you scroll a little slower.
Oh, sharp. Sorry. Okay. Right. Yeah, I should scroll slower, I think. So chat is something that I would say definitely enable the chat. Let's see. I have selected that people can privately chat, so they could send a message to each other. Not critical. I'm not really worried about that. Auto saving chats. That is kind of nice. When I've been doing calls, a lot of people will put resources in the chat, and then it's automatically saved. You can send those out to your viewers if you want them to share email contacts or resources or anything like that. I don't have a sound playing when people join or leave, and that can be very distracting. Here's one thing that is important, the file transfer. So I have been reading about this, and there have been some stories of people hacking in. So if we have a meeting code, a meeting ID that is shared and a lot of people have, anyone could get into your meeting and they could potentially upload a file. So let's see, feedback. And then the other thing that's really important is screen sharing. So depending on your audience, I have been only allowing the host to share because, again, if someone gets your link and you don't have a password, which to me is fine, you can have a password, but no one else can share their screen, and no one else can find something nefarious like the Tiger King or something and put it on your screen. That's what we were talking about. So those are the only. Well,
actually, let's be 100% transparent here. Okay, there have been reports that people have been getting onto some public Zoom calls, and there was a very prominent call for a very large brokerage firm, investment company recently. People got in, and Shane, we'll see you, but we'll have this recorded for you, buddy. And somebody came in and they started showing porn videos and sharing that. So, You know what? Don't let something like that possibly happen to you.
Right.
Okay? Unless you are planning on it. I mean, not saying, okay, no judgment here. So
yes. So
anyway,
that's what happens. So the two things that are really important are not to allow screen sharing or files to be uploaded. The rest of this, I don't pay any attention to. So I'm going to scroll down. There are lots of things, and I just don't think, virtual background, whatever. I'm just going down to show you all the things I don't worry about. Okay, I've got streaming checked, but I don't do any streaming. So those are some email notifications. Honestly, I worry about those right now. Okay, so I'm going to take Should I go all the way down here? I think that's it. So really, I only covered the things that you'll have to worry about in your meeting.
Just for fun, I'm showing them that this is what is, if you look at mine, you can see I've got a virtual background right now. You can, if you go down to the stop video, actually Kay will show you this when she goes through the stuff at the bottom. But you don't even have to have a green screen for this, but I've uploaded a picture of a golf course and you can stick that behind, stick a picture of, anything you want behind you here.
Yeah. I know. It's pretty cool. So then when you've got, so you started a meeting, and like I said, all you're going to do is open which meeting that you want. I'll just do this test with Terry. It's going to be in there. You can, now this has a longer URL because it's got a password, which is an option, but you're just going to cut and paste that, or copy and paste that into your email. Email people, tell them the time, and then when you are running that meeting, you're going to log into your Zoom account and you're going to just click start this meeting. So I can't start that meeting because I already have a meeting, but that's what you need. That's all you need to do. And what's kind of interesting is even if you have a meeting scheduled for a later time, you can just go into that link and you can start that meeting whenever. So
here's a couple questions for you, honey.
Okay.
Do you check the settings before each meeting? And do you need to redo the settings each time, or are the selections saved for future Zoom meetings?
You know what? There are some settings down here for the overall. I have been just doing them for each meeting. And again, this is the simple version. So I, for now, would just check the settings on the meetings. I don't know for sure if it applies to all the meetings. I think it's just each individual meeting. Okay. So sorry if I can't be more precise on that. So let me see. So we're going to go to.
Well, actually, okay, I'll just jump in, because you know what? Most of the time, like Kay says, our programs are open typically. We just send out the link. But there have been cases where I've wanted to have private conversations with some clients, and so then I'll set up a password. Mm-hmm. Okay, and there are other times when I want them to be able to share files and share their screens, and so I'll set that up, right? So it's IMTS, you bet.
And sometimes you want to record, sometimes you want to record a meeting, and sometimes you don't. So I do remember there are some global settings that you can fix for every single time. But what I found is that you're probably going to want to do something different for every meeting. You're not going to want to record every meeting. You're not going to want to have, screen sharing, whatever. So I would do that for each meeting for now.
Yeah, and Kevin, I am not in front of a green screen. You can use a green screen. It does give you the option to be able to use a green screen if you want to, but Zoom actually has what they call a virtual background. And all I've done is upload some video, some photos to it, and pick, and so I can go in and I can change the excuse me. Ooh.
I know you're out of space. So let's see. I'm still sharing my screen. I need to move myself over here because I am going to show you now when you do start the meeting. You're going to go through a couple, screens that are going to say, do you want to open Zoom.us. I thought it was Zoom.us, but I watched one of the tutorials and it says it's Zoom.us. So that's what's going to come on. And then you're going to, see the screen where you're going to start your meeting. And then whoever comes on with that link is going to be able to see your screen. So I'm going to show you what the presenter view is. And so here's what I did before the meeting, and I had my rollers in, and Steve made me just do it with my rollers in. So this is what your screen is going to look like when you start your meeting. And so at the corner, you've got a microphone, and you've got some options to control that. Then you've got video. And you should see this on your screens too. You can mute your own audio and your own video. You can invite people. And if you click that, you could just on the fly, it will open up your email and you can invite people. You're seeing how many.
Yeah, and one of the things you just said about the mute and unmute was there was a question, what are the mute and unmute options? So if you want to cover that, actually you will get to that.
Right? I will get to that. And unfortunately, I can't share the screen that I'm seeing with those options. So I'm going to do my best with some screenshots. But manage participants, I think that's where it will bring up where you can group mute people and unmute.
If you're the host of the meeting, when you click into there, and you have a screenshot of that, I know that you're going to show.
Yes, I am.
That you can mute everybody, or you can unmute people individually. You can allow everybody to be unmuted, which is chaos. Because
depending on the size of the group, right?
Yeah, when they're unmuted, even if they're not talking, there's noise in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah, so just be cognizant of that. And then, of course, the big one is share your screen. So that's what you're going to push so that the other people can see your screen. And if you unshare it, then you can go back and forth. The chat box is what brings up the chat on the right, and that's a great feature. Record, you can actually just, if you have the record settings off, you could record it on the fly. And the more, I can't even remember at the moment, I'll tell you in a minute. So let's see what other screenshots I have, because I just need to, that was my demo thing. I've got too many screens going, of course. Okay, so the first thing over there, I think, was the audio. Nope, that's not it. We'll do the video. I can't remember where my audio. Oh yeah, here's my audio. So here is a screenshot that I took earlier, so you can see. Can I make that bigger? Yes. Oops, then it kind of makes that go away. So let's see. Now we're just going to minus it down a little bit then. So when you go to the microphone as a presenter, I think some of this is on yours too. You can test the microphone and speakers. That's, definitely as a presenter, make sure you test those, because that something can get off, which it did the other. And so I always extra early and test that. And then you're going to just, choose your microphone, choose all this and that, whatever. Okay. So that is all the things that you can see on the microphone. And then the video, you're going to have, you can choose your FaceTime. I just always leave that on. That's where you see choose a virtual background, and then the video settings. And I don't remember if I had a screenshot of that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second so that I can see what it is. So on the video settings, I have this screen. I do have this screen. Let me see where it is. Might be down there. It might be up here. Darn it, I can't see that one. Nope, that's not it. Okay, well, I've got this. Okay.
What are you looking for?
I just want to share my screen again. So here we go. So here's what is on that video. I've kind of got a lot of, so these are the settings, and you can enable HD. I guess that's not mine. It's not on. My favorite, you can mirror the video. My favorite is touch up appearance, because it makes the little lines in my forehead a little bit less visible. You could just choose different settings that you want to use, but I'd say mainly the touch up my appearance, and then the rest you could decide or not worry about. Okay. So that is, and then when you're working on this, you share your screen, and it will have a little bit of a, at the top, we'll say you have the option to stop sharing. So you can toggle back between that, back and forth between that. How's that? Is it clear? Clear as a bell?
Your video is not working.
Okay. Stop my video. Start my video. I've got something going on here. So are there questions about how to get that meeting set up? So I'll tell you, I'm going to talk about a little bit about how to look good as possible for your video. And a lot of it is where your computer is placed. So you don't want to be looking down into the computer. It's always good to have yourself closer. And it doesn't matter for you guys in the audience, but if you're presenting, you want to have yourself looking up into the computer if possible. Also, when you see people on the screen, it's really tempting to look at them in the video boxes. But remember, if you want to eye contact with the viewer, you have to look at the camera. So that's something really important.
Yeah, this is definitely a pro tip. See, I'm looking at you right now because that's where the camera is.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of us do this while we're talking, is we're looking down, because we're either looking at ourselves or we're looking at the other people on there. Adrian, I'm looking at you. Okay. So, and Bruce, now I'm looking at you. So, and Brian, whoa, somebody just snuck into the background there, Brian. I saw that. All right. So, you want when you're talking to people, it's just like watching people on the news or watching people on, talk shows and stuff. They're looking at the camera. You have to learn how to do that.
I know it's a habit because we're all, in the habit of looking down. I do see one question I know the answer to from Bruce. Can you, if you have a single account, have you ever tested what happens if you try to run 2 meetings? It will tell you, since we have the same login, the same assortment of meetings, if you try to start a meeting, it will say, do you want to end your other meeting and start? So it will only let you run 1 meeting at a time. So you can have as many meetings as you want, but only 1 at a time. And then the pro tip is lighting. And that is, make a difference. I've got some lights. My video froze.
Well, I'm showing, okay, you can see my lights. See, you can see this, and I've also got another light over here on the side, but I've got lighting that is the desktop lighting for video, that makes it brighter for, lights up my face a little bit better.
And weren't these lights pretty inexpensive?
I don't think they were very expensive. I think $70 or something like that.
Yeah. So,
but you can also just set up like a lamp behind your computer a little bit higher.
This is the light that I have. I have 2 of these. Yeah. Video Essence or something.
The very simple rule of lighting. Now, I'm not going to get into what professional lighting would require, but the very simple rule of lighting is lighting in front, dark behind you. Yeah. So you don't want to, and I'm going to pick on you, Andrew. See, like, for example, you've got your window back there, okay? And that kind of, it puts your face into a dark place because the light is back behind you now. See, and like Mary, for example, you've got a good lighting in your room, in your office. Yes, everybody fix it right now, damn it. Oh my gosh, what a handsome guy.
But it's true, and even I have a big window I'm sitting next to, but I undo it because it's light lit from the side now. So yeah, lighting, put your light, and I have lights behind me I've turned off. So
yeah, if
you notice, you could do a desk lamp or whatever.
Back here, you see, I've got curtains closing up. I got a part of my office. The lights are off in my office back there, and I've got the curtains closed. So it helps. The lighting helps here. We want you, when you go on in front of people, we want it's going to be very subliminal, all right, subconscious, but they will notice whether you are a professional. And a professional simply is presenting in a professional manner. And you can set up your set, so to speak, just like a studio. And Kay will talk about microphone too. But she's talking about like you see where I am. You see, basically watch CNN, watch your local news, and look at how they are framed. Okay. And that's what you want to do, is you want to frame yourself much like you would be watching a newscaster. And you don't want, it's okay, it's okay from, when you're in the audience, it's fine, relax, sit back, pay, kick back, nice background, Mary. And
I know, good job.
But when you are presenting, be the pro, okay? You're leaning forward, you're looking at the camera, you're talking into the microphone and stuff, be the pro. People will appreciate that. They will pay more attention to you that way.
I love it.
Wake up, Ted.
But yeah, and also just lean in, look like you're interested in, as a listener, it's not a big deal, but, you can, look like you're interested and engaged, look at the camera. You might put a little bit of put a dot or something next to it to remind you to look. So I'm going to talk about what Steve mentioned before is a microphone. This is called a Yeti. Let's see, can you see? Yeah, Yeti Blue microphone, and it's sitting beside me, but I've done a couple tests back and forth with just using the computer speaker, which, it isn't terrible, but, we're doing more trainings and more stuff, and so the microphone really helps you sound better.
Microphone, believe it or not, the microphone is the single most important piece of equipment that you can get. It's more important than your camera. Because the audio, if the audio sounds like crap, people will turn you off right away. They just don't want to listen very, very long. Okay. Professional videographers, that is the single most important thing that they will make sure that they have is a good microphone. We are not using, like Kay showed you what we were using. We're using the Blue Yeti microphone. The lights, Mary, you asked about the lights. These are Video Essence. We'll actually put some of this stuff. We'll send out some of the stuff afterwards. The Video Essence lights. You're going to want to. What you want to look for is something that maybe can be like desktop, computer, desktop lighting. But the microphone, you got to get a microphone. And I think the Blue Yeti was $90 or something like that. That is not. That's not too bad. And the question about does it freeze up a lot? The answer is no. Don't know what you see. Kay and I are both on the same. Yeah. We're on the same line.
I've got something on my computer, and my computer is brand new. I've got some movies or something somewhere that's slowing.
She might have too much stuff going on that she doesn't know about.
I need to do that because nobody else is freezing. So, yeah. So let's see. I'm not sure what some of these other questions are, but I'm going to screen share again.
Okay, Mary. No. No. You don't have good luck with another microphone. All right. You have a professional microphone. The sound is very, very different. Okay.
So, I really, like I said, there are other ways to host a meeting, but the one that I showed you works great. Let's see, I'm trying to think. If you go into their solutions, I'm trying to remember where that was. I mean, there's lots of help on the website. So if you want to go up to the solutions in your account, and you can find lots of information and tutorials on how to do all the advanced stuff. But what you know now, as far as setting up a meeting, fixing those few, whatever the choices that you have, the few options I mentioned, and then you can just go in at the appointed time and start the meeting. You'll see that screen, and then you can share your screen. And when you do share your screen, it will give you, I don't have a screenshot of that. It will give you some choices. I just picked my desktop, and then you can, go to whatever website you want. Let's see, I could go to Tiger King.
Ooh.
And I could.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah. Go
if you are not watching this, you are missing the viral superstar of the virus.
Captive tigers in the U.S. You got to check out the Tiger King. It's such a great diversion. We have no sports to talk about. We don't want to talk about politics. You get sick of the coronavirus. the Tiger King, I tell you, it's riveting. So see how I could actually share whatever is on my screen, I can share with you guys. And that's cool.
Yeah, solid point. Yeah, solid point, Kevin. Yeah, we have passed the 40-minute. If we were on a free account, it would have just cut us off at 40 minutes.
Yeah. And like I said, we just, and the freezing is definitely on my computer. I need to figure it out because I haven't seen anybody else have a problem with it.
And there are a couple of other pro tips. Okay, number one is and some of you might not be able to do this, but depending upon your location, hardwire internet is much more reliable. Okay, Wi-Fi is not reliable. So if you can get a hardwire, that's what you want to do. Kay and I are both on hardwire, and we do. I've done all of my webinars for years, hardwire. But anytime I've ever tried to do Wi-Fi, like sometimes I'm in hotels or something like that, man, it's so common to run into problems with Wi-Fi. If an attendee presses to share screen, does it bump out another person sharing? Only if you allow these people. If you allow people to share their screens, then they can do that. And so you don't want to allow people to do that. This is all in your settings ahead of.
Yeah, so that's one of the few settings that you really need to pay attention to. Like I said, if you don't know personally all of those people, because they could just share their screen, and you can't stop them from sharing it once you're in the meeting. So
hardwire. There was something else I was going to say, but I'll think of it here in a second. Sorry. What other questions do you guys have? Is it easy to have a non-subscriber to join a meeting in the free mode? Yeah, you can have anybody.
I think, and there is a setting. Remember, I said that authenticated users only. And if people are concerned with, people trolls or whatever coming in, you can require that they have a Zoom, or you can require a password.
Yeah, require a password. You got a lot of control over people coming in. See, you guys are a fairly okay crowd. I'll give most of you sort of thumbs up. Some of you half thumb, but you guys are good. But we do a lot of programs that we don't know who's coming on.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about that, especially today. I mean, I eat trolls for lunch, but I don't want to have to do it in a public webinar. Yeah,
better to keep that out. So, and so you guys kind of figure. I love, Mary. That virtual background's great. So I think that's really it for me. Hopefully that gives you what you need. I'm just curious. I mean, I guess there's not really a way to take a poll. Actually, there is a way to take a poll. I'm going to figure that out in the advanced settings. You can actually
thumbs up.
Yeah, and you can
thumbs up. All right. Even Kevin Kelly gave us a thumbs up.
Kevin Kelly, that is
amazing.
Kelly. You're not.
And
Kevin
Mark
Kelly,
Hess.
I used to know,
Mark Hess has a copy of my new paperback expanded version, which and our publisher told us not to do this, but I'm going to give a shout out that if you don't have it and you want to get it on Kindle, it's 99 cents.
Hey, thanks, now. Mark. And
it's screaming up it's moving up on the, it's like 11th on the overall marketing bestseller list right now, and going crazy.
And you know what? If you're looking for something to do because you're stuck at home, I love it. What is Brian holding up? A bookmark, I think. Huh? One of your bookmarks.
Oh, you got a bookmark, Brian.
Yay.
Wow.
We would love it. Oh, hi, Con. It's fun to see all you guys. We would love you to go on Amazon and just give it however many stars you think, and just a quick. Oh, thanks, Connie. Yeah,
Connie,
you just say this is a great book. You should read it. We would really appreciate it. That would really help us out.
Okay, Kevin has a question, honey. Any issues opening multiple files during a presentation?
Well, I haven't had any at this point, but multiple files, it's like for screenshots.
Really what you're doing is you're sharing your screen. is all you're doing. So if you open up, like if I were to open up a file, a PowerPoint file, for example, then it would just share. I would run the PowerPoint on my screen just like I would anytime. Like if I were giving a speech, and then I just share my screen. So
yeah,
makes it easy. You've read it twice, Connie. You have no life.
Oh my gosh! And here's
What's the
another.
matter?
Brian, you look great in your glasses.
Look at Brian. Yeah. I mean, look at you guys. Okay. If you guys don't have any of this stuff, you got to let us know so we can get you this stuff.
Turn
Connie,
the world orange.
if you've read this book twice, we need to send Connie some sunglasses.
Yes, that's right.
If you guys reach out.
If you have a pair of glasses, send me a picture. I mean, I can screenshot, but you're so little.
And if you don't, we'll send you some. Bruce, gotta go.
Yep. So,
right. John, are you not enjoying yourself? Is this not? Are you not watching Tiger King? There we go. And Mark, I think this has been a screenshot of Mark's face this entire time. He has not even blinked.
Well, we could unmute all for a minute when we say goodbye. Let's unmute.
Okay, let's unmute everybody. Start telling us, is this okay? What questions do you have? Connie, wave.
Somebody's got a big buzz.
Connie has a question.
Buzz.
Every time I try to put a background in, it gets really fuzzy. Have you ever had that problem?
Yeah, you need a pretty high connection speed.
I haven't gotten it to work either.
I'm hardwired.
You are hardwired?
I am.
Okay, it might be your, what kind of computer do you have?
Dell.
Should be.
When you go into have you gotten an account, Connie? Because it tells you in the Zoom what it takes, what the requirements are to get that to work.
Okay, I'll look at that. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out to Kay, not me.
And then if you want to go, that's great. I will stay on and run and answer a few other questions.
I have a question.
Okay, let me just ask this one from Avery. Does everyone need to receive a unique link, or can you send the link to 100 people? You can send it to 100 people. Now, again, with our account even, there's a maximum of 100 people on a meeting at once. And if you want to go higher, you have to upgrade. Okay. And then, so John and then Sandra next after John.
Yes, I have 15 students in my class, graduate level. Can I communicate with them and lecture for 40 minutes if I have the free or for an unlimited time? Can I use it for my students, for my lectures?
Up to 40 minutes. Up to 40 minutes, but just if you feel comfortable knowing that at 40 minutes they'll be cut off.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Excellent.
Excellent tutorial, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sandra?
We're just making this up as we go along, John.
I know. I mean, really, I've learned this. I've had a crash course in this. So, and if you have a question, shoot me an email.
Oh, they moved down there. Oh.
Sandy, what do you want to ask?
So I tried that virtual background, and it just shows up on my window is all. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, because it has, if you've got a lot of stuff in your background, you can't grab things, But that is
I thought
great.
that was a picture.
I love it. It's making my day.
I had a beach. I tried a beach first, but it only went there. So I tried the rainbow, and it still only goes in the window. So,
well, if you don't have the capability in your computer, you can always get a green screen or hang a piece of green fabric.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to post something in the next couple of days about a green screen that I'm going to be trying out. And Greg, you look ill. You need to go to the ER as quickly as possible.
What?
Was I the only one who saw that?
What? I didn't see it.
Oh, it was bad. It was really.
That was great. By the way, I spent Saturday night in the ER. That was fun. I don't know where Kate went.
Sandy, right after we did our tutorial, he got a kidney stone.
Oh, no.
What a great time to go to the ER. We called 911. I called 911, and they wouldn't even come in the house till they questioned me about whether we had COVID symptoms. And then when we got to the ER, they had tents set up to screen. They told me I had to wait in the car. They were very, very nice.
To go this way, right? But they were great.
Nice.
There was nobody in the ER. So if you gotta go, now's the time to go to the ER.
Unless you have COVID, then I don't know where you're
don't
supposed
go to
to
the ER if you got COVID.
All right, folks. Stay healthy.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you, everybody. Anybody have any other questions? I'm gonna leave Kay on. I'm bailing.
Yep. Say goodbye unless you have another question. I'll stay on.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, you
Thanks,
guys.
Steve. Thanks,
Thank you,
y'all.
honey.
Bye-bye, thank you.
How do we leave the meeting? And mess-
Oh, how do you leave the meeting? Yeah, you just pull up
Bottom
on
right
the right-hand corner.
Right, right.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Connie, Connie left. On my coffee.
right-hand
Hi,
corner, red
Adrian.
letters.
Hi, Adrian. I on my coffee with Kay today, I was playing around with the passwords and I accidentally put a password requirement in. So my coffee with Kay group was only 4 people, but we've been having so much fun every day at 11, and we're kind of keeping it light, but every day we talk about business ideas that we've got, and it's been incredible, the sharing that we've done and the ideas that have come up with this. So I really encourage you guys to do this with your people. Sandy?
Lower
You
right.
think it's a resolution thing? In other words, do you think I need to hire a bigger picture or something for it to show up more than just on my window?
I think it's too much stuff in the background. I think if you hung a green curtain or green screen
Oh, okay.
or had a
It's
plain
just
wall.
covering, since my window is, the blinds are closed and it's a nice white area. That's why it's choosing that probably.
Yeah. And so I don't know, are you Lee, how do you say your name, Leanne?
Yes.
Leanne, okay, you're a new face to me. I've seen Adrian dropped in on our coffee with Kay, but nice to see you. Did that help you? You know, like I said, I'm kind of learning this quickly, but I just wanted to get the basics. You feel like
Yes.
you guys could run a meeting now?
No.
What would be stopping you? Setting it up or?
Yep. I still need some more lessons, but I'll learn.
Yeah, you will. You know, you might just, go instead of trying to remember everything, just, get an account. And
I did. I got an account and I set up a link in settings. And so a free one because I don't know how much I'm going to use it.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, then you can just schedule a meeting, name it whatever you want, and then you could email that link to someone and just say, hey, can you get on this call? And like I said, you don't have to wait till the time you've scheduled it. It will be live at any time, and just try doing it. That's the best way.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happens with IMTS.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping and praying. And I mean, September might just be
Well, right now they're
amount of
using
time.
McCormick Place as a hospital because
I
I live
know.
in Chicago.
Oh, do you? Yeah. I know. It's crazy times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is.
Adrian says, send another email. Okay, I think the chat was already saved, but at the bottom, do you see that option too? At the bottom of the chat, there's some dots and you can save the chat.
No, at the bottom of the chat, option 2. Nope.
Down by where you type, there should be a box with 3 little dots.
Yes,
And
I do.
If you click those 3 little dots, it will give you an option to save the chat. So that was one of the things I checked. But like I said, I didn't want to get into too many of those details. So, well, thank you guys. I'll be getting better and better. I mean, the next time I do one of these, I can probably tell you how to do all the advanced, but, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And you guys, everybody take care and stay healthy.
You too.
All right. Good luck.